Hey, hey, what's up? How is it going, everybody? Um, I am very, very much. I came out here actually to read water signs, as was my usual schedule, but I've got this strong impulse today, to really look at all this stuff. What I'm doing, why I'm doing it, those kinds of things. And I feel like there's a collective message that needs to be, brought to bear about authenticity, finding our true purpose, our true passions, and operating authentically within those spaces. And because it's something that came up all through last week. Almost every sign, it was like I was just saying the same thing to everybody, like to everybody. And so I don't know if that is my energy imposing on the whole channel, or if it has to do with certain aspects of astrology right now, which would make some sense, but I'm not an astrologer. I'm a student and really don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to leave that alone. But there seems to be a strong draw to the collective, or for the collective rather, to kind of, I don't know, find your true north in a sense, or like operate in your authentic self. And there's also a very strong, almost like a pushback against that in society right now. I feel like a lot of us maybe are being very compliant, very complicit with what's going on out in the world, and there's something underpinning the situation right now where I feel like we're kind of being challenged to really question if we are following our true life's purpose in a lot of ways. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to read a collective reading here regarding that topic. So I'd like to know what the collective needs to know about diving into their authenticity and their purpose right now, please. By the way, we're using Baroque Tarot today, and we'll be clarifying with, what's it called? The Magic Seer Tarot, which is just a borderless Rider-Waite deck. Standard Rider-Waite. Anyway, so that's what we're using. We'll get right into it right now. We're kicking it off with the Queen of Pentacles. She does work hard to cultivate an environment that she wants to be in. I would suggest as well that this is a safe environment. So there's definitely a draw of like safety and security right now that some of us are certainly dealing with. We may be working hard and striving towards security, perhaps. Let's get two more cards for you here, collective. La 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 la. All right, there's two more cards right here. All right, we have the Devil, and we have Judgment. Okay, underlying the deck is Strength. What was that? Leo, right? We're in Leo season right now. We are approaching the Lion's Gate 8-8. It's always been a significant season for me, even though my Leo placements are virtually nothing. I don't have them, but for whatever reason, this has always been a thing last few years. So we've got Leo on the bottom here. We've got Strength on the bottom. This call to authenticity, right? This call to be bold and be who we are. This, ruled by the sun, and also a very loving sign. So we have, what I think though was going on here is like, Spirit is definitely calling for us to break bonds, to break strongholds, to break ties, and to really step into our authenticity. This combo right here, the Queen of Pentacles and the Devil, is a really interesting one, because I do think in a lot of ways it may be speaking to a fear of not being secure, right? There may be a call by Spirit, for us to sort of step into the unknown a little bit, step into the wild a little bit, and kind of explore the possibility of losing some security for the so that we have the opportunity to actually live out our purpose in a sense and fulfill what we're here to do. It seems like a time for divine intervention to sort of disrupt our material circumstances in a lot of ways. The Devil card is very much about that. It's about It's about emphasizing the material world over the spiritual world. And so a lot of us, maybe we're doing things that, like, you know, jobs we hate, things like that, that are just kind of soul crushing type things, right? But we do them anyway because we want the security. You know, we've got obligations, of course. We have responsibilities, this and that. You know, we all have to get by in this life, so it's certainly not a judgment about that, but it's a call to really look at that. Like, what are some other ways we could actually, you know, earn our pentacles, you know, in a way that's more fulfilling in our lives. So we're clarifying the Queen of Pentacles right now. We have the Queen of Cups here. It's a real call to be in your heart space, really to look within your heart space. What are the things that bring you true fulfillment? What makes you feel truly nurtured? You know, the Queen of Cups is a very motherly figure. She's nurturing, she's caring, wide open heart space, you know, highly intuitive as well. So there's a call to trust your intuition here. These two queens together, earth and water, is a very beautiful feminine energy. We have the Knight of Swords. So we do have something that maybe wants to come in swiftly, make some changes perhaps. I think this is an external energy because the Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Cups together is to me, feels very stable, very safe, very secure. And again, maybe that's something that needs to be disrupted in a sense. But we do have the Ten of Pentacles here that came out as I was speaking, these three cards that came out. I do think that it's sort of saying, like, what do you want your legacy to be? Do you want your legacy to be a quiet, uneventful life that you kind of never explored your passions, or is it something that you want to, or do you want your legacy to be something that had some disruption, that had some adventure, that made some changes? You know, like, we have to go through those rough patches to get to the good things in a lot of ways. Page of Swords is underlying the deck right now. I think this is this page is like the security guard of the tarot. It's guarding, it's about boundaries, it's about personal space, and about guarding the territory, so to speak. A little bit of a wall up, a little bit of defensiveness there. So take that as it resonates, but I think there's basically saying, well, you've got a choice. You know, what do you want your legacy to be? Right? Do you want to be known for going out there? I mean, the Knight of Swords is the fastest knight in the deck. Do you want to be known as a person that goes out there and goes after what they want, what they truly want? Or do you want to be a person that is more or less in a defensive position, right? So are you going to be aggressively pursuing life, or are you going to be defensively trying to protect what you have? Okay. All right. Let's get some clarification on the Devil card. We had the Five of Pentacles immediately. Yeah, there's fear of loss, of course. Of course there's fear of loss. This is what we're talking about right now. It's fear of loss. But there's something underneath. There's something underneath right now. People are being very, 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 very cautious right now, trying to hold on to any semblance of security in this world that is just, yeah, it's gone batshit crazy, has it not? You know, and it's like, and people, especially, I mean, I can't speak to the entire world, but in the U.S., it's like all that anybody wanted when they voted in 2020 was to bring some semblance of stability and normalcy into life, you know, and we certainly didn't get that, did we? Nothing is the new normal, or the stability of what is at and has sort of been established over the last few years is in a lot of ways so depressing and so terrifying, you know, to work harder and harder and harder and harder to make ends meet. It's like it's a total uphill battle. It's like something's got to give. So what are we doing here? We have a fear of loss, right? With the Five of Pentacles. We have the Six of Cups here. It's about you know, long-standing relationships, generational relationships in a lot of sense. You know, the adult is giving the child the cup with the flowers, the lilies, wisdom, you know, imparting wisdom and emotional security. And then we have the Ten of Wands here. And it's like this burden that you're carrying, this fear of loss, this fear of losing your security that you've had some kind of long-standing relationship with, it's like that burden needs to be put down. And like, I guess the question is the burden that you're releasing, is it related to your deepest desires, or is it related to your fear of loss? So are you going to release the idea of security, or are you going to release the idea of having the opportunity to live a life that you actually want to live? You know, Hierophant underlines the deck here. This is all about traditions. This is all about institutions. So again, this is like the Hierophant could represent your employer in this case. It could represent rules, regulations, how we've always done it. Saturn in Aquarius right now. It's really putting the brakes on people's sense of adventure. For a lot of people, it is. It's making people very, very conservative, overly restrictive with their energies, and especially if you've got Earth placements that are, Earth placements or any sign that's sort of fixed and loves stability, those kinds of things. It's like it just doubles down on that, in a lot of ways. I think it's just saying you've got a choice. You could buck the system at this time, but it comes at a risk, of course. But what do we need to know about the Judgment card, dear collective? What do we need to know about this Judgment card? All right, let's look at Judgment. Does a collective need to know about Judgment? All right, I'll do 2 more shuffles. 1 more shuffle. Okay. All right, regarding the Judgment card, we have the 8 of Wands. This is often can represent rapid communication coming in at you. Basically, all of these wands are oriented in the same direction and approaching in a sort of organized front. You could put it that way. Wands representing your passions and your desires, right? But you've got it in the sense that, like, you may be able to find a way to organize all of your passions and desires into like one push, one energy, right? We have the 5 of Swords here. Communication leading to separation. So it may be time to, maybe one of the things that's coming in is in communication is like something that needs to end, right? Because you've got the 2 of Wands here. This is about having those desires, understanding what they are, and having, the world in the palm of your hands, so to speak, but knowing where it is that you want to go. Really calibrating your passions, right? Underlying the deck is strength. We have Leo again, it's Leo season. Again, but also just boldness, right? Boldness, showing up in the world in your authentic form and not giving a shit what anybody thinks about it. So I guess what I'm getting at here with clarifying this Judgment card, it's like there may be something that's coming to a head that needs to be dealt with. Something that is going to be a call for you to be bold in a certain way and to really recognize, like, what I want. I'm going to go after what I want, even if I have to cut things out of my life. With the 5 of Swords, it's like that could easily be a conversation where you, make a decision to quit your job or hopefully it's a situation where you're feeling empowered, but it could be the other way around where maybe, maybe there's a conversation and you're like, go from your job. It's like, it could be anything like that. I think regardless of what that separation is, it's really critical to recognize the fact that you have an opportunity to really go after what it is you truly desire, what you truly want, and be who you really are in an authentic way. You see that? See how I can't even talk. This is brilliant. And by the way, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. That's what's been on my mind with this whole tarot channel. It's like, well, what is the point of it, in the sense, like, what am I trying to accomplish? And dear viewer, what I'm trying to accomplish is to help you figure out what you need to figure out to help get you unstuck in different areas of your life. And there's many, many ways to go about that. Certainly reading by sign is a way to do that, but I gotta be honest, it takes me, basically to read each element and to do all the respective signs. I put in probably 8-9 hours a week into that. And in terms of like views and things that are going on, it's like not a lot of people are seeing that. Certain signs, yes. Cancer, definitely I get a lot more interaction from Cancer, but a lot of the signs, I'm getting 3, 4 views, 8 views on a video, and it's like, well, that was half an hour of my energy, and then there's no, seemingly doesn't, I don't know if it's doing anything, right? I don't know if it's impacting anybody. What I want to do is help you gain insight into where you want to go with your life and get you unstuck from a situation and then go about your merry way. I don't really want to see people just watching perpetually and being stuck perpetually. That's not why I'm here. And so, I don't know what'll be the future of this channel, but I do want to figure out the best way to be of service to y'all in a way that is the most fulfilling for me as well, because I need to be authentic. And it's like, at the core of it, for me, it's like I want to be helpful. I also want to empower you guys and encourage you guys to learn how to read tarot for yourselves if you're not already doing it. I also want to be a person that encourages you to dive into these different practices to develop your spiritual journey. And, tarot is a great tool for personal introspection and personal reflection and gaining insight and knowledge and all that stuff. It's best used as a personal tool, in my opinion. So, optimally, you're going to be inspired to go get your own deck and start your own journey if you haven't already. Because that's where they truly shine, in my opinion, is when you're using them for your own introspective journey. It's a very personal thing. So anyway, blah, 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 blah. I digress. Let's get right into this potential outcome line here. Again, it's potential. Like, all of this energy is optional to you, dear viewer. You can choose to accept it, reject it, ignore it. And obviously, outcomes will vary based on how you interact with the world, right? You can't become wealthy, famous, and successful by literally doing nothing. Sitting on your couch is not going to make you any of those things. Sitting on your couch is not going to attract love into your life. Sitting on your couch isn't really any good for you unless it's a time that you need to be doing it to rest and recover. Nothing wrong with that. The idea of hustling and grinding and all that stuff is kind of bullshit. Like, you don't have to. Whatever your authentic self is, whatever you authentically are drawn to do and be, is perfectly fine. Okay? Like, I'm not the most go-gettery of a guy myself, until something is really locked in, when I'm really inspired, then yes, I will grind, but I don't grind for the sake of grinding. And I never will, because it's fucking terrible. I hate it. I used to do that. I used to work hard as hell at a job that I hated, and what was it all worth? I mean, money, I guess, but is money everything? No, not to me, it's not. Anyway, Page of Cups. You are manifesting. You have the opportunity to really begin to envision and manifest what you truly desire. So some of you may be early on the journey of your manifestation, but I feel like this whole circumstance and the thing that's going on here is like bringing you into an energy where you'll get a better clue as to what it is you do actually truly desire. And that's beautiful. We've got the Knight of Swords again. So we have the Knight of Swords come out twice. The opportunity to act swiftly, I feel, is available to you. Okay, it's on the cusp here. You have the opportunity to move, or something may be coming towards you in a very rapid manner soon. And look at this. We have the Ten of Wands again. So the Ten of Wands came out twice. Again, releasing a burden. What is it that's burdening you? What is laying so heavy on your heart? What needs to be released? And on the bottom of the deck, we have Ten of Cups. It's a card of ultimate happiness here. And by the way, there's 3 tens on the table here. We've got the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Swords is not here, and the Ten of Swords would be more to the point of like something is definitively ending, it's done with, whatever. But having the Wands, having the Ten of Wands come out twice is really suggesting you have the opportunity to let something go. So the ball is in your court. The ball is in your court, dear viewer. If you're willing to go after your deepest desires and maybe be emboldened, if your spirit is nagging at you to be bold at this time, it's time to be bold. You know, and you have the opportunity to really obtain a deep satisfaction and happiness from this circumstance. You know, it may or may not be everything to do with pentacles. It may not have everything to do with wealth or perceived success by others, but it's about success in you finding your authenticity and just really enjoying the happiness that comes with that. Because the real you, the one that feels like it can't express, the one that feels like it's not fulfilling the part of you that's nagging, you know, you're not fulfilling some aspect of what you're here to do. It's like finding that satisfaction is going to be huge. I mean, it is. It's just being your authentic self. There's nothing better than that. There's no better feeling. So, my friends, that's what I have for you. Thank you for bearing with me through this collective message. Moving forward, who knows? You know, like I said, doing readings for every sign is a lot of work, and I don't know that it's doing a lot for me. So, if you've viewed this video and gotten this far, first of all, thank you. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing if you'd like. Hit the like button if you liked the video. But also, leave a comment and let me know what you think of that. I'd like to have your feedback as a viewer, you know, especially if you're somebody that's watched a lot of my videos or you've been following along with me. First of all, I really appreciate it. Thank you. But I'd like to know your feedback as far as individual signs or collective messages. You know, what is it that you're looking for, I guess? What are you actually looking for? Which is a fantastic question we should all ask ourselves at this time. Indeed. All right, dear viewer, until next time, take care. Best of luck with this energy, of course. Happy Leo season. Happy birthday, Leos. And I will talk to you soon. Take care.